So we're going to move on to our second speaker today, Amaya Gustave. Amaya is a former Little, and she also served as an intern for Big Brothers Big Sisters. But I have a funny little story. When I showed up today, I hope, Amaya, you're okay with me saying this. I showed up today, and Maya goes, hey, I want to talk to you about something. So we go up in the green room, and she has a copy of my marketing book that I wrote like 15 years ago. And I had my signature on the front, super faded. And she goes, I was trying to think when I saw you the first time, where did I see you? You had done a storytelling workshop when I was a kid for Big Brothers Big Sisters, and me and my big Alicia came to it. I almost cried. I was like, no, don't make me cry right now. I have mascara on. And Beach is like, that's why I don't wear mascara. I was like, okay, that's like a valid point. So I'm super excited to hear her story. It's awesome. Please welcome Amaya Gustave. We'll high five.
All right, I want you to think back to elementary school you, or maybe even middle school you, or high school you. Do you remember who your best friend was in elementary school? Or who your favorite teacher was in middle school? Or your favorite subjects in high school? I'm sure that you'll agree with me when I say that these years of your childhood were some of the most formative years that went on to inspire who you'd become as an adult later on. And the best part about those formative years for me in my childhood was that I was matched with my big sister Alicia for all of them. 8 all the way through 18 when I graduated from high school and from the Big Brothers Big Sisters program. So there's me at 8 up there. My mom was a very hardworking single mom. She had a lot on her shoulders, and she worked 2 jobs growing up, so she worked a lot of nights and a lot of weekends. And she knew that she needed just a little bit of support, but one thing she also knew is she wanted me to have another influential, positive woman influence in my life. And so that's when we came to Big Brothers Big Sisters Northwest, and I was matched with Alicia. Now, Alicia gave me 2 of the most influential, transformative gifts that you can give a child throughout our time matched together. One being support, and the other being exposure and experience. The support came from not only Alicia allowing our space and our match to be a really safe space for me to explore all of my curiosities as a child and my fun energy and my interests. She also just made it a really safe space for me to talk about whatever was going on in the life of an 8 through 18-year-old. We got to talk about what was going on at school, what my favorite subjects were, any drama that was going on. Got to talk to her about my first crush. I also I had a family member pass pretty early on in our time matched together, and she made it a really safe space for me to be able to explore those emotions as a kid. And it was really special to have another trusted adult in my corner to talk about that. So the support was one piece of the puzzle in our match, but that exposure and experience was the other. The exposure and the experience came from all of the quality time that we spent together. We went on a lot of adventures. We would take her dog, Madison, out and spend a lot of time outdoors. We were always hiking or finding a lake or a creek together. We'd go swing dancing downtown. We'd have movie days. We'd also bake a lot. We baked the most amazing chocolate chip cookies. And if you know anything about browned butter, you'll know why those cookies were so good. We also did a lot of hands-on crafting. She was really big on DIYing. She taught me how to knit and how to sew. And so I got to go to the fabric store and pick out my own fabric, and she taught me how to sew my very own pencil case. And I used it all throughout middle school. It was very sturdy. So that exposure and experience came from our quality time together, but it also transcended into the conversations that Alicia would lead with me as a kid. She planted a lot of seeds in me to be able to envision a life for myself that I didn't really know was possible before. She was a huge inspiration to me, and she'd always say, I dreamed super big, and you can too. To hear that as a child is so empowering, and to be able to explore that was amazing. Alicia talked to me a lot about her educational journey. She was a first-gen student, and so she talked to me about her path and what kind of lit her fire to continue her education. She talked to me a lot about travel and wanting to see the globe and trips that she's taken and wants to take. We also talked about her professional career and the path that she chose for herself and how she got there. So those talks of education and that inspiration of her being first gen led me, also another first gen grad, to go off to California and receive a bachelor's degree in organizational studies and Spanish from Pitzer College. Her love of travel inspired me to also get uncomfortable and explore new spaces, so I challenged myself to spend half a year in Ecuador teaching, which later awarded me a Fulbright grant to Mexico. Thank you. Her career path and the way that she talked about how she lit her own fire and decided to just dive in deep into what she was interested in inspired my own career path. I'm very passionate about education, facilitating learning, and the field of learning and development. And in my most recent professional achievement, I have been awarded a 30 under 30 young leader in the field of learning and development through the Learning Guild. So I could stand up here all day and boast about how my match transformed me, not just as a child, but as a person, that not only validated what I aspired to do, but planted those seeds and let me dream big. I want to remind you that my match story is one of hundreds that has gone through the Big Brothers Big Sisters program. And as you hear other stories, other match stories, you'll hear those same words of feeling empowered and seen. And we're here today not just because of all of the match stories that has gone through the program, but there's so many more. There's so many littles on the wait list that are waiting to feel as seen and who deserve to be invested in the way that I was through my match. And I am very excited to watch now this next video that Alicia did for our match story. It's going to be her side. I haven't seen it yet, but we're going to play it on the screen here and watch it all together.
I've known Amaya since 2011. We met for the first time on October 27th, 2011, and I know that because I still have my official friendship certificate from Big Brothers Big Sisters. We were matched until she graduated high school. There's been so much growth I witnessed since I met Amaya. When we met, she was shy and kind of reserved. It did not take long for me to see that she was willing to try any idea that we came up. It was in these moments that I saw more of her eagerness, intelligence, humor, and thoughtfulness shine through. As we were matched during some of the major milestones in a kid's life, things like junior high, becoming a teenager, turning 16, driving, graduating from high school, the somewhat shy girl evolved and grew into a mindful and confident young woman. It's one of the coolest and most gratifying things to have watched her grow into the woman she is now. I'm proud of Amaya because she's confident, intelligent, and brave. She has a way of moving forward in life while at the same time being present in every moment. It's not an easy balance to keep, and she does it all while being kind and relatable. If I could give Amaya any encouragement, I would say your hard work, determination, and kindness have always shined through. From day one, I'm excited to see all the great things you're doing in this chapter of life, and also the things you'll do in the next chapter and the chapter after that. I wish you all the success, all the joy, all the adventure, and all the community that life has to offer. You got this.
I know that we said we'd do 3 asks today, and this is going to be the very third. We have a few impact donations that you can give that transform the experience of a match. And if you can give, please do. So I will call Cathey back up to the stage. And thank you for listening to my match story.